Hello everyone. Welcome to my living room. It's pretty great. I decided to get dressed because, that kind of makes things feel like you're doing something important. And we do. We get to do things that are pretty important when we get to live for Jesus. So here's the deal. Next week, I am going to give a message on Philippians. And I thought, hey, what if before next Thursday, we all read Philippians together? It's 4 chapters. And here's why I think this book would blow your mind. Philippians, as Eugene Peterson put it, was Paul's happiest letter. And if you've read Paul's letters, he's not always super happy with everything he writes. So I think it's something to be noted. But it's also important to note that when Paul wrote this, it wasn't because all of his circumstances were going awesome. He was in jail, which that would suck. He was tired after 20 years of ministry, and there were people that were trying to ruin his ministry. So he had actually a lot of reasons to be sad. And yet, because of the work that Jesus was doing in Paul, he was happy. And I think that there's a lot that we could be sad about right now in this season that's just weird and very unknown. But when I hold on to the fact that God's word is something that I can count on, it really does make a lot of things better. And Philippians to me has been a book that I've read as when I was your age, a teenager, and my mom would encourage / I think kind of make me memorize some of the scripture from that. And some of them were verses like, I can do everything through him who gives me strength. There was a verse that my mom had on top of our desktop. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's like a computer that's on a desk and you can only use it there. Way back in the day. Anyway, and it was the verse from Philippians where it says, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is commendable, whatever is lovely. I think it's actually supposed to be lovely and then commendable. But if there's anything of any moral excellence and if there is anything praiseworthy, dwell on these things. And these were verses that I learned when I was a teenager, and I thought about. It was oh, well, that's kind of stupid, so I probably shouldn't think about it because I just want to do what God tells me to do in his word. And that's not going to make me think about things that are lovely and pure. Or I would think about Philippians 2, where it talks about the nature of who Christ is and how God did not consider equality, Jesus did not consider equality with God as something to be grasped, but he humbled himself. Jesus, who had every reason to walk around with his nose up in the air, didn't. And that's what we get to represent. And so I just want to encourage you to take this time this week, between now and next Thursday, to read Philippians. I don't know if you can hear the train. I'm going to keep going. Anyway, to read Philippians and make any note of any characteristics that Paul says in the letter to live out. Anything of how to live our lives, how to talk, how to think, or anything of how Jesus lived and what Paul's saying, hey, you should copy and paste this in your life. He probably did say copy and paste, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm super excited to read Philippians. I think it could really not just change this week in our lives, but could really help us think about how the way we live gets to represent Jesus. And yes, our circumstances are not guaranteed to be awesome, but the God we serve is awesome. And that part doesn't change. So let's go live like that, my friends. And we'll be in touch.